So suddenly I lost my job. Before I lost my job, I was actually on suspension for like 4 months. It was a situation that happened, and I'm not going to go into details, but I'm just going to tell you how it led to me losing my job. I was on suspension for like 4 months, and after 4 months I received a call from human resources and I lost my job. And when it happened, it was very sudden for me. I never knew that I would ever have to go through that in my life. I never, never. But like they always say, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I had a reality check. I had, I learned a lot. But before I learned, I went through denial, and I had to admit to myself that this is where I am, and I have to do what I have to do to improve myself and get back in making sure that I get a job. So the first thing is, when I received my sack letter, I'm going to be very honest in this video. So when I received my sack letter, I cried. I cried for like 2 days. My eyes were swollen. Like I said, it was sudden. I actually thought that after suspension that I was going to go back, but it didn't happen that way. But the good thing is that I have always been very ambitious and driven. I am not the type to sit at home and do nothing. So when I was told I was on suspension, I had always wanted to learn makeup because I didn't know how to apply makeup. I didn't know anything about makeup. And so I said I was going to use that period to learn a skill, learn something. So, and I did learn. I went to makeup school and I started learning makeup, and it was interesting. I even forgot that I was on suspension, but I was really hoping that I was going to go back because I prayed, I had faith. In fact, I was even prepared and ready because I was like, okay, now I'm going to be applying makeup properly. It's going to be, but I didn't know that everything I was learning was not for then, it was going to be for now. So I got a call from human resources. I thought it was to come and resume work. And I remember my mom told me that I don't think it's for you to resume back to work, but just go because I wish you the best. But hey, mothers know best. So I cried for like 2 days and I dust my feet and I decided to know more about the makeup that I had learned. I had learned it for a month and a half. So like I said, I was on suspension for like 4 months. So when I didn't resume, I was always going. Whenever my teacher is going out for to do makeup for people, I used to go with her so that I can learn more. So after like 4 months and I knew I wasn't going back, I told her everything that happened, and she offered me a job. It wasn't going to be the same pay that I was collecting. It was going to be much less. But for me, it wasn't really about the money. It was more about the experience. And that was how I started working with her. I was her assistant and I learned a lot from it. That was how I learned makeup. I learned the business of makeup. And I did an online course in social media marketing and digital marketing. All this, everything I was doing, I was just to make sure that I was not just at home doing nothing. I was not doing, I'm not the type to sit at home and not do anything. And after that, I decided that I wanted to go back to aviation. Now, in those few years I was out of aviation, I decided to have my second daughter, and so that when I go back, I just go back to face my career. I don't have to go back, then I'll get pregnant, go for maternity leave. No. So I just decided on my own that after these few years that I'm not in aviation, I'm going to use it to rebrand myself, add value to myself, so that once I go put my CV out there to go back to aviation, I will be more, marketable. It's not like as if I just stayed at home to have a kid. And that's exactly what happened. So my cabin crew license expired. Of course, once your cabin crew license expires, everything expires with it, your evacuation, your fire, and everything. And like I said, in Nigeria, most airlines always prefer to take people that their license is valid. Gone are the days where airlines start up and they want to take people that don't have experience, or that don't have, their license is not valid. Not that some airlines will not do that, but when they want to start, they always want to start with people whose license is valid and whose license is valid and who is experienced. Those are the two things they always look out for when an airline wants to start up. Now, after startup, they can decide to want to recruit people that don't have experience or don't have and they don't have, and I'll explain to you the reason why. People that don't have experience and people that don't have license. And the reason is because, before an airline starts operation, there's something called demo flights. Now, you can't do a demo flight with an inexperienced crew. You have to do a demo flight with experienced crew. And the demo flight is very important for an airline to get their AOC. So that's why when an airline wants to start, they're always quick to want to take people that their license is valid and they have vast experience. So I already have experience. I just took time off, and what I needed was to get my license valid again. And so I did an abridged course. So I went on aviation school. I did an abridged course so that I can do my medicals and write the aircraft type that the aviation school is offering to get my license valid. That's the point. And immediately before I finished the course of abridged course of renewing my license, I got a job. Because that's the thing with experience. Once you have experience and your license is valid, it seals the deal. So that was how I got back into aviation. And so I want to encourage you, if you're at the point where you just lost your job as a cabin crew, I want you to know it's not over. It's a phase which you will scale through if you stay positive. It's very important that you stay positive. Like I told you, I lost my job. I cried for 2 days, and I just continued what I had already started doing. I'm not asking you to do the same thing I did, but the point I'm trying to make to you is that I want you to know it's not over. And I want you to always know this. An airline is a business. Anybody can lose his or her job. It's not tied to whether you're good or you're not good. It's not tied to that. Situations happen. The airline can suddenly close down. They can decide they want to lay off crew. Maybe they're going through financial distress. All sorts can happen. That's why it's very important that you have something aside your experience as a flight attendant. I learned that the hard way, because when I lost my job was when I realized that I didn't have anything. All I had was the skill I was learning. Thank God I started learning that. What made me to learn it is because I wanted to know about makeup. I never really I was going to be a no. Now till today, till thy kingdom come, you can't take that experience from me. I'm a professional makeup artist. I know how to make up. I know about makeup. You can't take that from me. And I'm so glad. I am so glad with what I learned, because it helps me. And I'm giving it out to you. Make sure, apart from being a flight attendant, you have something that you can always fall back on. I mean, life is not fair. So be fair to yourself and add value to yourself. Flying can become so addictive that you forget to build something for yourself. You forget to add value to yourself. Because you're flying, you're lodging in 5-star hotels, you're earning a good salary, you're able to pay your bills, life is good. No. Don't get comfortable. That's why they always say, do not get comfortable in your comfort zone. Challenge yourself and add value to yourself. Because anything can happen. And you need to always be prepared mentally for whatever happens. So I know that you have gained something from my channel today. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, stay blessed.